Welcome, foolish mortals.
Time to be turning around. If only you could.
'Cause this here's the wildest ride in the wilderness!
Hey, Henry, what's holding you up? Let's get on with the show. We can't hang around here all day.
Ladies and gents, this is the moment you've waited for.
There's no turning back now.
This is the greatest show!
It's coming on the burning lights. With the runaways are running tonight. Impossible comes true. It's taking over you. This is the greatest show.
Now it's time for the WDW Beyond the Gates podcast with your hosts, Michael Hurley and Gary Aruda.
This is the greatest show.
That's right. This is the WDW Beyond the Gates podcast, episode number 541, recorded from the D. Fauntleroy Studios in Kent County, Rhode Island, in sunny Southwest Florida. I'm your host, Gary, joined as always by my co-host and my cousin, Mike, down in Florida. How you doing today, Michael?
I'm doing fantastic. It's sunny Southwest Florida. I like that. You kind of speeded it up a little bit.
A little bit. I was trying to
Changing
change
it up. I like that.
Yeah. What's new?
Nothing. Did you read my text from last night with one of my golf partners?
Yeah, you're insane.
It's not me.
Well, everyone's insane. Your whole group.
Were you laughing?
Yeah, it's pretty dumb.
He threw it at a chair. Bro, he texted me. He said it was he had to replace it. It was $250.
He probably just didn't charge the battery long enough.
You could see that, though. If you think the thing's fully charged and it's shutting off, you're getting irritated, aren't you?
Not like that.
No, you wouldn't throw a hedger at a chair?
No. Did he like the re-gripping?
Yeah, so he told me, he goes, this is my first 6-iron because he had to replace his 6-iron. So he told us all to stand back just in case it was loose, but he hit a couple solid 6-irons and
there you go.
The head
Stand
stayed
back.
inside the shaft, so it's all good.
That's the last thing you want to think of when you're standing over a shot. Did I fix this properly? Is the head going to come flying off?
Yeah.
I got to play some golf finally, part.
Yeah. You had 3 birdies on the backside, huh?
Yeah. I never do that. I don't think I've ever made 3 birdies in 9 holes in my
Did you
life.
just hit some solid golf shots, or were you draining some putts?
Both. I made some nice putts. Well, 2 of them were par 5s, which I reached in 2, so that helped. So I just had to 2-putt for birdies on those. And then the other one was a tap-in birdie. I hit a great golf shot. Great approach. Sometimes you just have it.
You have it dialed in, don't you?
Yeah, exactly.
Now, what'd you shoot on that backside?
41.
41. So you had a few double bogeys.
Yeah, so I played the same course 2 days in a row, Thursday and Friday. On Thursday, I shot a 40 on that side and a 44 on the front with 3 doubles, and I shot 84. I was like, all right, that's pretty good. And then the next day, I shot 86 with 6 doubles. So it was feast or famine. I made a lot of pars and birdies, and then everything else was doubles. I think I only made 2 bogeys that day. But it's all right. My short games, my putting was good. I told you I thought I figured something out. And
Yeah, you said
it lasted for 3 rounds. Like, my putting was as good as it's ever been in my life.
I mean, was that from your visits with Brad Faxon?
Yeah, I had the swing doctor, Dr. Charles McClintock, help me out with my putting.
Dr. Charlie McClintock.
But anyway, should we get into the big news?
Yeah.
A lot of stuff.
Sure. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Got announced.
Yeah.
I mean, it definitely got announced, parts at D23. I'm just still waiting for that play pavilion to open and do the refurb of Spaceship
Mary
Earth that they were talking about, the Mary Poppins ride. That's the thing. Every time they have this D23, they announce all this stuff, they put out concept art, and then, something happens. Granted, that was COVID that happened, that pushed those all to the side, but I don't know. I'll believe it when I see it.
Actually, I mean, you had 4 months where you could really get to work on these things. That's the way I would look at it.
That's true. That is true.
I mean, the
But
problem for me is like these cheerleaders, these professional podcasting frauds, the Ed Mongellos. I just had to listen to one of his shows the other day. Oh, I'm so excited. He gets the VP of, D23 on his show. And oh, we're so excited. I think we're going to have some big announcements coming up.
yeah,
It's like, you're such a blowhard. Like you've seen the past 10 years.
right. Yeah, they
Like,
make big announcements.
Oh, but dude, this is gonna be different this year. Eddie Mongello.
Edward Lou Mongello. But yeah, I mean, it's all good. It's all well and good. Some of the stuff seems like, it's interesting ideas. If it actually happens, that'd be great. But I guess we should just get right into it and talk about what they announced and what our thoughts are.
Okay.
They're going to be, sounds like Animal Kingdom's getting the most changes. So Dinoland is going away, and it's going to be done as Tropical Americas. So basically,
Okay.
Central America, South America. According to this, it says it will be a lived-in land with a rich history. There'll be one of the biggest quick-serve restaurants in all of Disney World, which, if it's got that kind of food, that might be good, because that's not something that you can really find at Disney, like Central American and South American food right now. So that'd be interesting. There's going to be a few attractions, a giant carousel. So that's just a people eater, a kids ride. That's fine. They need those. And 2 signature attractions, a ride based on Indiana Jones, which is going to be
Dinosaur,
almost a copy of it. They said it's not going to be the exact same as the Disneyland one, but it's
okay.
going to be pretty close. And then an Encanto themed ride through attraction, so a dark ride. So that's a newer movie that one of the characters has like a magical power where he can control animals, and he's like, his room is a rainforest, so it's going to be kind of based around that. They said the land will be complete and make its debut in 2027.
Okay.
Would you like to take the over or the under on that part?
Yeah, I'm definitely taking the over on that.
Definitely the over. Sounds fine. I don't really care. I never really had a big connection to Dinoland, so if they want to do something, it's an extra ride. They're replacing 2 rides with 3. That's good. They're bringing in a big quick serve, so that's good. I'm sure there'll be shops. I'm sure it'll look nice. The Indiana Jones ride, it says it will take place in an ancient Mayan temple using the same ride vehicles as the current dinosaur ride. And it will be a completely new story, different from the Disneyland one. So that was the main announcement for Animal Kingdom. They also said they're going to retheme the show in the Tree of Life from Bug's Life to Zootopia, which again, it's just like an overlay. That's fine. Get a new thing in there.
That's fine.
No problem with that. They said Test Track will be reopened in 2025. So that just closed about a month ago. And they said a brand new Test Track will open at Epcot 2025. The attraction, which will continue to be a collaboration between Walt Disney and Chevrolet, will feature 6 distinct exhibits in the queue that celebrate vehicles, plus new show scenes that showcase technological advances, like a joyride through scenes with onboard technology and a scenic outdoor route that reminds guests of the joys of driving. When they first announced this, they made it sound like it was going to be a mix between like the current Test Track and the original World of Motion, which I think would be great if they make it like more like slow down and like campy inside and then still do the outside part. That would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. What are your thoughts? Do you have any comments on the Test Track? I was never
I'm
in love
indifferent.
with it.
Yeah.
I like the older version better with the crash test dummies.
Yeah, I did
I thought
too.
that
I
was
did.
good,
I like the original.
better
Yeah.
than the most recent one. So I'll be excited to see what they come up with. Hollywood Studios is getting a land inspired by Monsters Inc. They revealed an all-new land inspired by Monsters Inc. will be constructed in the park. There is going to be a roller coaster inspired by the hanging doors from the film, which will be the first ever suspended roller coaster in a Disney theme park. Construction will get underway in 2025. So they didn't really announce much else about the land.
Yeah.
They didn't even say where it's going.
Where it's going to be. Yeah, I didn't hear where it's going to be.
So I don't know if they're replacing a current area or if they're going to add on and, build it off in a spot that they have some room. I'm a little worried that they may take over the area with Muppets and Mama Melrose and do all that and just turn that into it and get rid of all that stuff over there. Because I love the Muppet Vision 3D. That's one of my favorite things. I'm nostalgic for that. But I realize that area is kind of dead right now. Like the shop is closed. Like those shops over there are closed.
Oh, the Christmas shop over by Mama Melrose is closed?
Yeah, that's been closed. They have Pizza Rizzo, which isn't super popular. Mama Melrose, even though we like it, is not a super popular restaurant.
Yeah.
Like that area could easily be on the chopping block for that.
Oh, sure. Absolutely.
Unfortunately. I'd love for them to be able to save the Muppet Vision somehow, but I wouldn't be shocked if we hear that's where it's going to go. We have a new nighttime parade coming to the Magic Kingdom in the summer of 2025, and it is called Disney Starlight. It will continue the legacy started by the Main Street Electrical Parade, and it will feature characters from Peter Pan, Encanto, Frozen, and more. And the parade's magic will all be brought to life by the Blue Fairy from Pinocchio.
I hope that's true because they've been missing that parade for years.
This is one of the easier things they can do.
Of course it is.
Like that, you don't have to close anything to build a parade. You do it all off-site, bring the stuff in. It's a no-brainer. They need a nighttime parade so bad over there.
Costs money.
Yeah, but I think they're starting to see as these crowds are lower and lower, maybe they need to increase
it's only
the guest
because
experience.
it's hot out.
Oh, it's still hot?
Yes.
I didn't know that. Okay.
When I used to go with my family, it was never warm.
It wasn't hot in
No,
July and August. Yeah.
during summer vacation, no, it was never warm. It's only the past couple years.
Very good. There's 2 new lounges coming as well. 2 brand new lounges coming to Walt Disney World. First, the Pirates of the Caribbean themed tavern is set to open in 2025. And then a new lounge inspired by Spaceship Earth will arrive at Epcot. So there's going to be a Spaceship Earth lounge. That will also open in 2025. So I wonder if they're going to use that because that used to be sponsored by Siemens, right?
Yeah.
And they had like that Siemens employee lounge that you could go in. I wonder if they're just going to retheme that and make it open to the public.
Makes sense.
That'd be cool. I'm good with that.
Well, what kind of lounge is it going to be? Is it going to be a DVC or an annual pass holder or what?
No, I think anyone can go to these parts. I think they're just going to
Okay.
have like drinks and stuff. Like little bars.
I mean, regardless if it's an exclusive lounge, you're going to find your way into it, right?
I'll weasel my way in.
You'll figure out a way to get into there.
If you want to hear more about me weaseling my way in, listen to our new podcast, Addicted to DVC, episode 3 coming out. Tomorrow as you listen to this?
Yeah, I've been dropping them on Wednesdays. We might move it around for the next couple weeks to see what, but as of right now, yeah, it's Wednesday.
All right. Going forward, we're having 2 new Cars-inspired attractions coming to Magic Kingdom. This makes
What are you laughing at?
Because they're putting Cars stuff in Frontierland.
It makes no sense.
It makes 0 sense.
It makes no sense.
It's one of the stupidest things I've ever heard.
It's ridiculous.
Like, I understand like in my mind, I've seen Cars Land and Disney California Adventure, and I know like the mountains look similar.
They look like yeah, Thunder Mountain. Of course they do, but it doesn't fit. And number two, I'm so sick and tired of them just having the same stupid stuff at both parks. Have there be a reason
Well,
for you to go to California or
this
have
is
the
not
West Coast
going to be
people
the
come.
same. It's not going to be Radiator Springs Racers. They're going to be two brand
It's
new
going to be the
attractions.
same. It's going to be It's going to be similar.
I agree, but that's what they're saying.
That's what they're saying. It's going to be similar.
So 2 new attractions inspired by Pixar's Cars. The first attraction will feature a thrilling rally race through the mountains, covering wild terrain, climbing mountain trails, and splashing through mud holes. And the second Cars-inspired attraction will be tailored to smaller guests, offering fun for the whole family. So a kid's ride and a more thrilling ride. It's going to be similar to Radiator Springs, but I bet it's going to be more... Won't have the same track system because they're still going to have test track. Even they're not that like cocky to do that, are they? To like put the same exact ride system in 2 parks, Epcot and Magic Kingdom. Like that would be unbelievable if they did that. Anyway, the last thing they announced was an overall expansion to the Magic Kingdom, and I think this is like the Beyond Thunder Mountain, like in the new area they're going to build out, and they're going to do a villains-inspired land. Will feature all the villains you know from a variety of films, and the land will feature 2 major attractions plus dining and shopping. So, not a lot of info on that. No groundbreak date, no completion. So that's like at least 5-6 years down the line before we see that, if it happens. 10 maybe. Remember how long it took them to do the new Fantasyland?
Yeah,
that took a long time. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff announced, but does anything surprise you that they announced?
Not really. I mean, nothing happening at Epcot.
No, but that makes sense. They basically just finished their refurb of Epcot where they didn't do anything, but
right. That's what I'm saying. But they're not doing anything. Yeah.
Right. Which makes sense. I kind of get that, even though they didn't do a whole lot. I mean, the biggest one that I'm excited about is the nighttime parade, I have to say. It's almost
That's
impossible.
About the only thing that excites me, because it's probably the only thing that's going to happen.
Well, those lounges will happen because they can charge you money for those.
Right.
Yeah, the Bugs Life thing, that'll be Zootopia. That'll happen.
Yeah, they'll do that. Yeah, they'll do a few of these small things. They'll retheme a bunch of attractions, but
at some point they have to do the stuff they announce, though, right? They can't just keep announcing stuff and then doing, and then 2 years later they announce.
Why all their cooler water carriers are going to jump up and down every 2 years and be excited, and then you just throw out some blogs. Look at what Disney's doing, and
never do it. But I think they're actually
it's a different night.
I think they're actually worried about the Universal stuff, though.
They should have been worried years ago, though.
Oh, yes.
It's so reactive right now. They should have been worried years ago.
Parts, they have bad leadership. I think Bob Iger.
They have terrible leadership.
Is a terrible,
and it's not
CEO.
Even that. It's the leadership is terrible, but the board is the one that allows this to keep going on.
Yeah,
you got to get rid of the board, and then a new board has to come in. You got to get rid of the leadership.
Yeah,
what are you going to tell new families who have never been? They have us. They have us because we're idiots. We've talked about it. They have us.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Are you going to go and tell the Universal people, hey, I know these parks. You love these parks, but come check us out because we're going to be great in 20 years? Like, I just don't understand it.
No, it doesn't make a lot of sense. I think they have to do all this stuff. They can't keep pulling the wool over the eyes. because it's starting to come back to bite them now.
Yes, it is, but it's going to be they're going to be hurting for years now.
Yeah, well, they got to start fixing it.
They had the COVID bounce.
Right, and now they're hitting a lull. The economy's not great right now, and people aren't going. But people are going to go to that new Universal Park when it opens next year.
Of course they are.
So are Disney's attendance numbers next summer going to be even lower than this year?
Pards, what's going to happen? What's going to happen in a couple years from now when you bring your kids there and they like it better?
Oh, at Universal?
Yes, I think the younger generations like it over there better. I think the old fuddy-duddies like you and I like Epcot and Magic Kingdom and Animal Kingdom. I think the 20s and the 30s and the
I don't know.
Like it better over it.
Because they don't like any thrill rides right now. So
right now they don't.
No, in 5 years, who knows what it's going to be. I don't know. That's one of the things that with DVC, at least I still have a place to stay. It doesn't mean I have to go to Disney.
Oh, of course. Yeah. I mean, there's a million things to do in Central Florida, and we're both okay.
Yeah.
Not going inside of a park. And if you can get annual passes at a reasonable rate and you just go into Epcot every day for 2 hours and hang out by the pool, that's a great vacation as far as we're concerned.
Absolutely. Yes. But
let's seriously take a look. Look at some of our buddies who we met through the podcast. They never go.
Yeah, they don't go anymore.
They never go.
And they had annual passes.
Sometimes 3 times a year.
Yeah.
Your sister has no desire. She'll say that she misses it once in a while. She'd rather be on a cruise ship.
Right.
Than go to this place is losing people left and right.
Well, you know what happened, though? They told those people they didn't care about them.
They did tell those people they didn't care about them because you don't spend enough money.
And there was a few idiots like us that didn't care, and we just kept doing it, like you said. But a lot of those people saw the quality decrease.
That's the thing. They didn't even have to say it. They were dumb enough to say it.
Right.
JPEG was dumb enough to say, we don't care about you.
Yes.
Your product told us that you didn't care about us, but he actually said, we don't care about you. And then the CFO said, you're fat and we're going to cut the stuff on your plates.
Right. And we're still here, gluttons for punishment, man.
We are. They have us. They always will have us. We'll be there thick and thin. But these younger families, they're going for one time and they're like, this is not a $10,000 vacation. I'm sorry.
Right. No, that's true. If they do every single thing that they announced and it all happens in the next 5 years, which the odds are that's not going to be the case, it's still not enough to make up for Universal opening a brand new park.
No, they have so much that they could do. I don't think that they need a 5th gate, but I think they need to make all 4 gates better. You like Animal Kingdom. Animal Kingdom's fine. It's a great park. There's no attractions there.
No. They have 2 parks that have no attractions.
If it had half-day park, I disagree. I think it's maybe a 3/4 of a day park.
Yeah, but it's only open for 3/4 of a day.
Right.
Yeah. No, you're right. And
they took away the parade, and I actually love that parade.
Yeah, that was a good one.
That was a great parade. They took that away.
They had it open at night. Remember they did the nighttime safari?
They did the nighttime. They had that one show around that lagoon that they don't do that anymore.
That park is beautiful at night, and there's not a single day
at night. It's beautiful.
There's not a day all year where you can see the nighttime stuff because it closes at 6 p.m. every day. Because there's nothing to do in there.
There's nothing to do.
And lose money if they keep it open.
You got to wait in line for 7 hours.
Right, because there's not enough to eat people over there.
Right, like Kilimanjaro Safari is my favorite, and it changes from day to day. But if I'm going there for a week, I don't need to go on it 3 times while I'm there.
No, and I'm also not going to wait 60 minutes to go on it.
There's no way. I do it when it's a walk-on, or if it's 15, 20 minutes, that's fine. But once it gets to 30, 40 minutes, I'm all set.
Yeah. Yeah, they have 2 parks that need a lot more. Hollywood Studios needs a lot more attractions.
They do.
And Animal Kingdom needs a lot more attractions just to keep people doing something.
And I'm sorry, these sing-alongs are foolish. Your kids might like it. It might be fine, but that's lazy. That's so lazy.
I mean, it's
To
better
just
than
use an old existing building and just do a stupid sing-along, that's lazy.
nothing.
It's better than nothing. Yes, it's better than nothing. It's still lazy.
Right. But look at like Magic Kingdom where that Stitch ride was. That's just empty now.
It's empty. You have room there. Put something in there.
Right. Like they should put a sing along in there because there's nothing there now.
Because the problem the other thing is that the wait times were so terrible. So maybe if you had 3 or 4 more attractions that could eat people.
Yeah.
Now the wait my biggest gripe, Kurt always asked me, a cousin always asked me, you don't go as much. I said I couldn't stand waiting in line. When they had the Fast Pass, and I could say on a Friday, hey Kristen, on Sunday there's these 3 rides. Let's go up. Let's grab breakfast at Ohana or Grand Floridian Cafe. Let's hit these 3 rides and let's go home. Now the experience completely different. 2 years ago, you were waiting 90 minutes to go on Thunder Mountain, Pirates of the Caribbean.
Right, exactly.
I'm all set.
Yeah, they need to do all this stuff. They can't keep pulling the rug out from under their fans. It's starting to catch up to them. If they don't realize that, they're in more trouble than I thought. Because you can't say we're going to build a villain's land, and then in 3 years they say, well, the economy's not doing as good as we thought, so we're not going to build this villain's land for you. Sorry.
Yeah, we're not making as
Deal with-
much money as we anticipated, so we're not going to put any more money into this.
Right.
I mean,
And
their movies have been bust for 5 years.
Yeah, they had a couple good ones this year, so they're doing okay. But I don't
Their
know.
streaming service is garbage.
All the
I mean,
streaming
personally, I
services.
like it, but that thing's struggling.
It's actually a good the interface is maybe the best one of all the streaming services, but they lose money on it.
Yeah.
Like I think Disney Plus is the best one, especially if you have the bundle because it integrates Hulu into it. Like you don't have to go
Fantastic.
into
I have the
different
bundle. I tell people all the time, whether or not you like Disney, just the Hulu and the ESPN Plus, and there's a lot of stuff on Disney that, believe it or not, non-Disney fans would like, but
Yeah.
you just have those anti-Disney people. I'm not getting that. I hate that. I'm not getting that. Okay. It's by far the best streaming platform out there. I agree with you.
Right, and they're still losing money off of it because I don't think streaming platforms make money for these companies like they thought they would.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah, I mean, I'm most excited about the parade because, like you said, I think it's the most likely to happen. Those lounges will happen. I think the Animal Kingdom stuff will happen, but those other two, the Monsters Inc. and the villain stuff, I don't know. Even the Cars one, I don't know.
Yeah.
And that doesn't make sense. The Cars one. That's so dumb. Frontierland, the cars weren't invented. Like, I don't care that they put IP. Like, the Tiana's ride doesn't make sense in Frontierland, but Splash Mountain didn't make sense in Frontierland. Because they were, the same part of the country, if you think about it. Not just putting cars, I don't know. It's so crazy to me that they're considering that. Just build a new land. Just make it in a different area.
A ton of room. Yeah, I agree with you.
Like the sight lines will look great. Just don't put it in Frontierland. Call it its own thing. I don't know. I don't really
There's
have
just
anything.
no thinking anymore, is there?
No, and none of it is like a new concept. Like, can you imagine go back in time 30 years where they said, we want to build Animal Kingdom theme park, and here's what it's going to look like, and here's what we're going to do, and there's no IP attached? They would get laughed out of the room if they suggested that now. Like all the,
Yeah.
not a single thing in that park had IP attached to it when it opened. And now they're shoehorning it all in. It's whatever. That's
And
just the
now,
way
I mean, we didn't talk about the West Coast, but they're throwing this crap over at California Adventure.
Oh, the Avatar stuff? Yeah.
Yeah.
Where's that going? They
How
don't
does
have-
that? I mean, basically, they're putting Avatar in Hollywood studios.
Right.
Because California Adventure is Hollywood Studios.
Yeah, exactly.
Way better version.
For now.
Way better version of Hollywood Studios. But
Yeah.
where the hell does that fit in Hollywood Studios?
Yeah. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense.
That park is one of the most perfect parks there is. California Adventure. It's perfect.
No, it's great. It's great. But they yeah, I don't know. At least that one, like, it's set up to like shoehorn stuff in because it is like a studio park and you can just put different IPs in there. Like, I think that'll survive it. But it still doesn't make sense. Yeah, I didn't look too much in the California stuff. Did you want to touch on any of that besides the Avatar?
No, I looked at that. The cruise line's going to add a bunch of ships. That'll definitely happen because that's that's the only thing that people care about right now.
Yeah, they make money off of those.
Another one of our friends who used to go to Disney all the time, he cruises now.
Zach?
24/7. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of. You're right. They're losing core people.
They're losing their core. We're their core.
Right.
So my brother-in-law, who we took a couple years ago, he was always figured he'd be a one and done. But if it blew him away, he might say, it was a great time. The kids really loved it. Maybe we'll come back in a couple years. All set. If they come back, they're going with you guys.
Right.
Yeah, we'll stay at your house, use your pool, take care of your dog, and you can take our kids up and for a couple days. But when they're losing their core, which they are.
Yeah, and this isn't gonna fix the core, what they're doing.
No, they're trying to bring in new.
I guess that's all they can do at this point.
How do you bring in new? I don't know.
But now they're like the rumors are like the Rivers of America and Tom Sawyer Island are gonna go away.
I've heard that, yeah.
Kingdom, to make room for all these expansions. And I understand like that stuff isn't like super popular, but it's just like part of what makes Disney is you can have these spaces that add so much to the aesthetic that aren't super utilitarian, and it's a huge part of the park. And to just like fill in that river and pave it over to put another quick serve restaurant in there is so, I don't know, it just hurts.
Yeah, I know.
Like the green space is going away, the water's going away in these parks, the sight lines.
Yeah, sight lines have been gone for 10 years.
I know, but it's like they keep chipping away at these things that make it different from the Six Flags. And they're, it's still always going to be different because of, the old school stuff that they won't touch, but it's getting less and less. I'm actually glad they're not building a fifth park because I couldn't even imagine the what show that would be if they announced a brand new fifth theme park there. Like the theme of it would be like
just roller coasters.
Well, not even that. It would just be like all like Pixar. Like they would just
be movies, right?
Be Pixar park, and they put all the stuff there. But they already have Pixar in every other park, so it would just be more Pixar. Like they wouldn't make a new theme park that's like, I don't know, like Tokyo Disneyland. They have the Tokyo Disney Sea,
right?
Like, they wouldn't build that in America. Well, they might because they could copy stuff. They might build that because they could just copy it from Japan, but they wouldn't allow themselves to have that thought process over here and build a park like that. Something unique and pretty and beautiful. People want to spend time there. Like if you like being in there, you're gonna spend more money. That's why like when we go to Epcot, we buy snacks, we buy drinks, we buy merchandise because we enjoy being there because of what we're looking at. It's not because we like going on the Three Caballeros ride 10 times. Because we like the aesthetic of being there. It makes you feel good being there. It's relaxing. It's at the end of the day, it's a vacation. Right?
Right.
And you want to at least have some idea of like being relaxed and letting the stress go away. And when just more stuff gets cramped in, that's why I've never been a huge fan of Magic Kingdom because there's nowhere to just stop and relax for a minute there. Like you're always just going from one place to the next to wait in a line. In Epcot, you can go and say, "All right, well, let's hang out in the general store in Japan for 45 minutes because there's a ton of stuff to look at, or let's watch this show going on, or let's just look at, the tile work in Morocco."
Right.
In Magic Kingdom, there's none of that. Is there a single place in Magic Kingdom where you're like, "Oh, let's just go over and hang out in this area because I like the vibes"?
Not really.
There's none. Like, there's a lot of rides, so you go there to ride the rides, which is important. Don't get me wrong, but there's not like that cool hangout spot
Just to walk around.
just to walk around and relax and like chill out.
I mean, Epcot's always the place where I meet people.
Yeah,
Like when I meet people, listen to the show, when I meet Dan and his wife, and like you guys. I mean, we hung out at Epcot.
right, exactly.
We're not going to say let's meet at the Magic Kingdom just to shoot the breeze.
Yeah, the closest thing to like relaxing in Magic Kingdom is just going on the People Mover, but it's still a ride. So I don't know. I'll get off my soapbox. Like I said, I just hope they actually follow through on some of this stuff. Or most of it. Because they need to build back some like goodwill. Trust,
Yeah,
yes.
some
That's
will- yeah,
the word I was
whatever.
looking for. But I don't know. Anything else you want to add here, Pards, or should we wrap it
No.
up? All right. Well, you know where to find us on all socials at WDWBTG, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and YouTube at WDWBTG. Our Facebook group is WDW Beyond the Gates Podcast Family. Our website, WDWBTG.com. Subscribe wherever you download podcasts. Leave us reviews. Subscribe on YouTube, all that good stuff. You can email us, info at WDWBTG.com, Mike at WDWBTG.com, and Gary at WDWBTG.com. Is there anything I forgot?
No. You do
All
a
right,
great job.
I
as
appreciate
always.
that.
All
Thank
the
you, sir.
time, Pards.
Thank you, sir. That's going to do it for episode number 541 of the WDW Beyond the Gates podcast. For my co-host, Mike, my name is Gary. Thanks so much for listening, and we'll talk to you again next week.
Now it's time to say goodbye to all our company. M-I-C
See you real soon.
K-E-Y.
Why? Because we like you.